Sí, cada vez que vengo aquí siento muy cómoda, siento en casa.
Those were not the words of a Spaniard. Those were the words of a 21-year-old Filipina spoken into a microphone on center court in Madrid in front of a Spanish crowd that had come expecting a tennis match and instead witnessed something they could not have predicted. In a single sentence, fluent, unhesitating, and warm, Alex Eala turned a routine on-court interview into a global moment that flooded Filipina social media within 24 hours and forced the international tennis world to rethink everything it thought it knew about her. The scoreline read 6-3, 6-3, but the interview revealed something far bigger. To understand why that one Spanish sentence exploded across the internet, rewind 3 weeks. On July 4, Eala stood on the grass at Wimbledon and stunned defending champion Iga Swiatek, winning an unforgettable first-set tiebreak 11-9 before closing out the match 6-2 in the second set. It was the first time a Filipina had ever reached the round of 16 at a Grand Slam. Although she fell 2 days later to Jasmine Paolini in 3 sets, she climbed to a career-high world ranking of number 28. That was the Alex Eala the world knew in July 2026. The Madrid interview introduced the Alex Eala almost nobody outside her inner circle truly understood until she opened her mouth. She walked into that afternoon carrying quiet expectations. A Filipina competing on European clay, representing a nation traditionally associated with basketball and boxing, stepping into a tour where much of the Spanish-speaking media based in Madrid, Barcelona, and across Latin America had paid little attention to Southeast Asian tennis for decades. The assumption inside the stadium seemed simple: thank the crowd in English, smile, and leave. Instead, Eala looked around the Caja Magica, smiled, and effortlessly switched into Spanish. On that very same day, on those same tournament grounds, reigning Wimbledon champion and world number 4 Iga Swiatek attempted her own Spanish interview before laughing and admitting, "Okay, that's all I know, so let's please switch to English," after managing little more than ordering 2 sandwiches. According to WTA reporting, 2 players, 1 city, 1 language. Completely different levels of fluency. Suddenly the tennis world had to process something it had never seen before: a Filipina who could outplay opponents on court and charm an entire Spanish audience in their own language. That realization began in Madrid. First came the tennis, because Eala earned that microphone before she ever spoke into it. Her opening round opponent was Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, a former Grand Slam finalist, former Wimbledon quarter-finalist, and one of the most experienced veterans on tour. Eala defeated her convincingly 6-3, 6-3 without dropping a set or showing any signs of nerves. That performance earned her the post-match interview. What happened afterward became the real story. The WTA itself highlighted the moment with an official article titled "Swiatek, Eala flex their Spanish skills after Madrid wins." Think about that for a second. The governing body of women's tennis publicly compared a Filipina's Spanish to that of a Polish world number 4 while both were competing in Spain, and the comparison clearly favored Eala. When Steve Johnson once described Eala as the biggest draw in women's tennis, many people dismissed the remark. When the WTA itself showcases her language skills alongside one of the biggest stars in the sport, the conversation changes. The sport is no longer whispering about Alex Eala. It is documenting her rise. During the interview, Eala smoothly transitioned from English into Spanish and told the Madrid crowd, "Every time I come here, I feel at home." She spoke about traveling back and forth to Spain for 8 years, about every match presenting its own challenge, and about how grateful she felt to compete there. Nothing sounded rehearsed. It felt natural, genuine, and heartfelt. Then came the sentence that reportedly drew the loudest applause of the entire interview. Speaking in Spanish, Eala explained that her biggest goal was simply not to be afraid of speaking Spanish. The stadium erupted. They were not applauding perfect grammar. They were applauding courage. A young Filipina from a country that spent more than 333 years under Spanish colonial rule stood in the heart of Spain and spoke the language confidently on her own terms, receiving warmth instead of judgment. That was the moment the clip escaped the boundaries of tennis. Threads user @MakicanPlay shared it, and within 24 hours it spread across X, TikTok, Facebook, and countless Filipino social media communities. One comment joked, "Soon she'll be reciting Jose Rizal's novels in Spanish." Another declared, Alexandra for Reina Hispanoamericana 2027. A third simply wrote, Grabe, and Gailing Mag Spanish. Bravo! For anyone who has followed this journey, from Miami to the clay season, from Wimbledon to Madrid, this moment confirmed what many had already begun to believe. Alex Eala is becoming much more than a rising tennis star. She is becoming a global ambassador whose impact reaches far beyond the baseline. Madrid was the proof. You were not imagining it. You were seeing Alex Eala exactly as she was long before much of the tennis world caught on. The deeper story has never been only about forehands, rankings, or trophies. It is about identity. Spanish was an official language of the Philippines for more than 300 years before losing that status in 1987. Today, only a small percentage of Filipinos speak it fluently. So when Eala confidently speaks Spanish on one of tennis' biggest stages, she is doing more than communicating. She is reconnecting with a piece of her nation's history while carrying a tennis racket, representing the Philippines, and reflecting years of training at the Rafa Nadal Academy. That journey leads directly to one of the most respected figures in the sport, Tony Nadal. The legendary coach who guided Rafael Nadal to multiple Grand Slam titles has played a significant role in Eala's development since she arrived at the Rafa Nadal Academy at just 13 years old. Following her breakthrough in Miami, Tony Nadal publicly praised not only her tennis but also her discipline, mentality, and the way she embraced life in Spain. His comments reflected admiration for a young athlete who became part of the academy's culture, not simply a student passing through. In many ways, Eala herself echoed that same feeling in Madrid when she told the crowd she felt at home every time she returned to Spain. There is something remarkable about that connection. One of the architects of Spanish tennis has helped shape the brightest star in Philippine tennis, and she now communicates with him and Spanish fans in their own language with complete confidence. In today's global game, that matters. English connects her with audiences across the United States, Britain, Australia, and beyond. Filipino connects her with millions at home and an enormous global Filipino community. Spanish opens doors across Spain, Latin America, and large Spanish-speaking audiences throughout the United States. Few athletes naturally bridge all three worlds. Alex Eala does, and Madrid reminded everyone that her influence extends well beyond tennis. It reaches cultures, communities, and markets at the same time. Her journey now moves toward another major challenge. After Madrid, attention quickly shifts to the Mubadala City DC Open in Washington, where she faces top-ranked competition before continuing through the Canadian Open, Cincinnati, and ultimately the US Open. This stretch of the season could become the next defining chapter of her career. The rankings continue to rise, but they still struggle to match the momentum created by packed crowds, growing international attention, and viral moments that have followed her throughout the year. None of that changes what happened just weeks earlier at Wimbledon. Eala had defeated defending champion Iga Swiatek, reached the round of 16, and stood one victory away from a historic Grand Slam quarterfinal before Jasmine Paolini ended the run in 3 hard-fought sets. Since then, Eala has not relied on dramatic interviews or emotional speeches. Instead, she has allowed her preparation and performances to speak for her. She returned to training, focused on the next opportunity, and stepped into another major tournament ready to challenge the world's best once again. No excuses. No hesitation. Just another court, another opponent, another opportunity to prove herself. Within the span of a few weeks, tennis fans witnessed 2 unforgettable moments involving Iga Swiatek. First came Eala's stunning victory over the defending Wimbledon champion on grass. Then came Madrid, where Eala impressed an entirely different audience by speaking fluent Spanish with confidence and warmth. Online, Filipino fans celebrated with humor, referencing Jose Rizal and imagining an even bigger future for their rising star. Inside the stadium, thousands applauded not simply because of her pronunciation but because of the courage and sincerity behind every word. Alex Eala did not surprise the world because she spoke Spanish. She reminded everyone that the future of women's tennis can come from unexpected places, speak multiple languages with equal confidence, and represent far more than athletic success alone. She represents a new generation that moves comfortably between cultures without asking permission to belong. That leaves one fascinating question for tennis fans everywhere. One day, if Alex Eala lifts her first Grand Slam trophy, which language should she begin her champion's speech with? English, Filipino, or Spanish? Share your answer in the comments. And if you have followed her journey from Miami to Wimbledon, from Madrid to Washington, then you already know this story is only getting started. Stay with us as we continue following every chapter of Alex Eala's remarkable rise, because the biggest moments may still be ahead.